Let's bring in Tony Boselli, Westwood One analyst and sideline reporter for Super Bowl 54. Tony, how are you today?
I'm good. You guys just keep on going. I like listening to this nonsensical Tom Brady talk. Would have won the game. I mean, can't we enjoy just one Super Bowl? I love Tom Brady, one of the greatest ever. But can we not enjoy one Super Bowl without him instead of bringing him into how he would have saved the day for the 49ers if he'd have been there?
Nope, we can't do it, Tony. Not possible. Yeah, Tom is always in our thoughts. All right, the most important play of last night was what?
Well, I think it's the 3rd and 15. I think that was huge. Up to that point, obviously the long pass to Tyreek Hill. Up to that point, San Francisco had really just shut down Mahomes. He was frustrated. The series before, he had thrown the pick. I felt like going into that 3rd and 15 play, there was not a doubt in my mind the 49ers were getting off the field and getting the ball and probably salting the game away. And when he completed that pass, you felt the change in the stadium. You felt it on the sidelines. And then you add to the fact that I thought that series, after they score and Kyle Shanahan, first down, 5-yard gain. So you got 2nd and 5. And I thought, run it, get a first down, calm things down. And they decided to go to the pass. Now, in fairness to Kyle, he's getting ripped for calling a pass there. Bourne is wide open. And it's just a good play by Chris Jones. He knocks it down. He's at the line of scrimmage. So those kind of two series of events right there, long pass, kind of the 3 and out afterwards, that's when you felt like, not going to be the Niners' day.
Yeah, I felt the same way and we just had Raheem Mostert on, and he said, look, I'm a team player. I would like to have the ball there. If I'm going to go, I can run clock. Maybe you take a timeout or two away from Kansas City, and maybe I get a first down there. Worst case scenario, I might run a bootleg with Garoppolo just to surprise them, and then he slides if he's going to get tackled. But I have to have the clock running a little bit. I got to put a little bit more pressure on Mahomes that when he gets on the field, this might be the last time you get on the field, and you better score a touchdown there. I thought the Niners did that for almost the entire game except for the final 8 minutes. And
Dan, I agree. I mean, I said it on the air last night. They came down the sideline, and Kurt and I were talking about it. I was shocked. I mean, you're sitting there, you have the number 2. This isn't just like an average rushing team. I mean, this isn't the 49ers who, have an okay line and an okay back. This is the second best group in the NFL. And I was sure, and everything in me said they were going to run the ball and go down and salt this thing, get a first down, at least the momentum there. And especially if you get, 5 yards and first down, that's not easy. That's offensively in the NFL, if you get 4+ yards on first down, you won. And they did it. And for whatever reason, Kyle decided he wanted to drop back and throw it.
Yeah, I don't know if Kyle, because we had this problem with the Falcons in the Super Bowl with the Patriots where you think they're going to run, then they don't run. I have a lot more confidence in Matt Ryan throwing the football than I do Jimmy Garoppolo. Now I've amplified that pressure on him. When he got to 3rd and 5, I thought, oh, my God, he's got the weight of the entire Super Bowl right now on him. This might be the most important throw of his career.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the thing that was really interesting to me is they really weren't effective drop-back passing all night. I mean, if you look at when Garoppolo was successful, it was on the nakeds, it was on the RPOs, it was off the run action. And so you never sensed in the stadium that, like, hey, Garoppolo is on today, they can throw it, they can get in the rhythm with the passing game. And that's why at the biggest moment, why do you go there? Especially, I'm going to repeat myself, this is a team that threw it 8 times to get to the Super Bowl. This is a team that had a back. I mean, Mostert had 200+ yards in the NFC Championship game. He didn't touch the ball until the second quarter.
Well, you have some of these
things like that are interesting.
Well, coaches will outthink themselves or outsmart themselves. We saw that with Seattle at the goal line with Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
You saw that with the Falcons against the Patriots. And then all of a sudden last night, and I just thought that you're going to give him another chance, and it felt like that defense was starting to question how long they could hold this dam before the water burst. And you saw that. It took a long time, and they really frustrated Mahomes. It felt like he was out of sorts, but it felt like he was having the worst game of his career. And And he probably had the worst game of his career, or at least close to it. And he won he won a Super Bowl and won the MVP.
Well, I mean, you sit there on the sideline, you kind of get, start thinking of what's going to happen. And at 20-10, you got 7 minutes left, 3rd and 15. You're like, okay. You start thinking about what am I going to say post game about the 49ers and what they did. And everything was going to be about the defense and how, Robert Saleh and that group, did something similar to what the Giants did to the Patriots in Super Bowl 42, when the Patriots were the best offense in football and 4 guys who could rush the passer, disrupt Brady, and change the game. Because that's what was happening. I mean, it was the 4-man front that was absolutely getting after Mahomes. He had no time. And that was the narrative. That was the story, except for 21 points in 6 minutes at the end of the game, changed everything.
Talking to Tony Boselli, Westwood One analyst, the former All-Pro for the Jags. I know you've talked about it, you thought about it, maybe you're trying to forget about it, but I was rooting for you for the Hall of Fame as you're a finalist once again. I don't know if you're inching closer or not, but I saw you talking to John Lynch, and although I'm trying to lip read there, I'm guessing you're discussing being Hall of Fame finalists and not getting in.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the game, coming up, and then obviously we talked about, that was his 7th year being a finalist, my 4th. Neither of us got in. Both of us were in the top 10 again. And, we just talked about, stay positive, head up, and both of us, we played against each other and we've known each other. We know the type of the players each of us were. And I looked at him and I said, hey, maybe it's just meant to be, John. Next year it's in Tampa. You played most of your career in Tampa.
Ooh.
Maybe that's the year you get in, and maybe you can drag me along with you. So it's one of those things, Dan. It's frustrating. I mean, the competitor in us all, you want to be there. It's really. I don't want to say it validates your career, but it does in one sense at a higher level about kind of who you were. But I'll say this: this year was different for me in the sense of a number of guys I played against were the most vocal they ever were about me deserving to be in the Hall of Fame. And guys who are already in the Hall of Fame saying stuff like that. And when you're play offensive line, think about it. There's no stats.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you and your crew there can say, hey, look at how many of this he did, or how many triple doubles he had, or how many 1,000-yard rushings or passes. There's none of that. It's a bunch of big guys just being violent with other big guys and trying to stop people from hurting your teammates. And there's no way it's hard to measure. And so I always say the biggest compliment, and this is taking nothing away from the voters, the ultimate compliment is if they vote me in. But when guys I played against and guys who were in the Hall of Fame I played against, when they say I was the best or one of the best ever, I mean, that's pretty special. So we'll see what happens. You never know. It's one of those things, and you have a good life. Good, like I said on Twitter, good life, good family, good friends. And yes, I want to be a Hall of Famer, but if it doesn't happen like it did this year, everyone's still going to love me, I think.
You're the Terrell Davis of offensive linemen.
Yeah, one of the things I am getting a little bit tired of is this, short career conversation. I'm like, wait a second, you guys put that to bed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Number one, Darrell Sayers played much fewer games than I did. He played fewer games than I did. Dwight Stevenson, offensive lineman, played fewer games than I did. Who's a great center, got hurt. Terrell Davis, latest, played fewer games than I did. Kenny Easley just got in recently, played fewer games than I did. And so, what I want to say is, you can't use that anymore. Now just judge it based on the best at what I did when I played. And if I was, then to me, that's a Hall of Famer. If I wasn't, okay, then it is what it is. But the short career stuff has to go away because the precedent has been set, in my opinion.
We're celebrating next year, Tony.
I like it. I'm with it. I was disappointed this year, Dan, that I did not get the last few years. And I thought maybe it was a good thing because maybe this is what was going to get me the Hall of Fame. Like the last 3 years, I've been invited on set, the Super Bowl week to come on the show. This year I didn't get the invite. I'm thinking maybe Dan knows something like that he's not going to invite me on because I'm getting in. So I was okay with it at the time. Now I'm a little bit sad because I didn't get in. So it didn't help is my point. So we're going to have to figure this whole thing out.
Well, what's more disappointing, not getting the Hall of Fame or not getting invited on the show?
Yeah, that's really close. Really close. I would have to say the Hall ekes out the Dan Patrick Show just slightly.
Next year. Next year, we're celebrating. And
sounds good.
Thank you, buddy. Safe travels back, and thanks for joining us.
Anytime. Have a great off season, or at least my off season, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you. And that's Tony Boselli, Westwood One analyst, former Jags All-Pro.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.